Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. The flash flood watch is in effect for our territory. A message from the top cop on domestic violence. And are you ready for some football? It's Central versus Complex. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, the entire territory is under a flash flood watch tonight. Here's why. There's a low potential disturbance that has only about a 20% chance of becoming a tropical storm in the next 48 hours. Even though it does have a low potential, it does have a very wide storm arc. The storm arc itself extends from the Dominican Republic all the way to Dominica, so that encompasses a big chunk of the Caribbean. It's moving at about 15 miles per hour west. It came from the south and has about 1,008 isobars of barometric pressure. Now, this has also caused us to have a hydrologic effect here in the Virgin Islands, which basically is the act of water falling out of the sky from clouds onto the ground, which has already been heated by the Caribbean sun. The Caribbean sun then causes it to dissipate back up into the clouds again, where it then falls again. So you can see it's a cyclical hydrologic effect, which is occurring all across the Virgin Islands. That's put us in a hazardous weather outlook as well as a flash flood watch if you're living in areas of low-lie or gut areas of the island. And in other news, October is Domestic Violence Month, and Wes and I are proud to display our purple ribbons to show our concern for the safety and well-being of all women. And now, Police Commissioner Novell Francis has spoken out against the travesty called domestic violence. News Channel 8's Wes Small has this story.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Here in front of Marshall Command, where we do our crime reports and our Crime Stoppers reports, I want to remind everyone that October is a very busy month. It's a conscious month, especially for our women. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As I hold here a symbol of hope for our women, and again, it's a symbol of hope as I hold here this bag here from Uniform City, which is right next to Marshall Command. The lady was nice enough to I could show you this. It was interesting to watch the NFL football games yesterday as the men in the NFL showed their respect to the women. I always say it should not be left up to the women for this cause, and I'm proud to be holding this as a symbol. Also, that takes you to Domestic Violence Month, and all month I'll be wearing this purple ribbon here to signify and symbolize the abuse against our women, mostly in our territory, when it comes to the effects of domestic violence. Our Police Commissioner, Novell Francis, he echoes the same thoughts. Let's listen to Police Commissioner Francis and this report about domestic violence.
October is Domestic Violence Month. It's a time when we stop and remember the many Virgin Islands residents and persons all over the world who have lost their lives to domestic violence. We also remember those who are presently living under the shadow of domestic violence. I strongly urge the perpetrators of these heinous crimes to find another way to work out their problems. I plead with the victims of domestic violence to leave the relationship before they become another gruesome statistic. Here in the Virgin Islands, there have been 12 domestic violence deaths since January. These numbers include women, men, and yes, even babies. This is a startling figure. Never before in the Virgin Islands have we seen so many lost their lives to domestic violence in 1 year. And the year isn't even over. What is even more frightening and disheartening is the high degree of violence that has been used in these vicious attacks. As a police officer for more than 23 years, this is the first time I've witnessed heated passion erupting in such violent acts where victims are strangled, bludgeoned with fire extinguishers, or viciously stabbed to death. So today, and throughout this month, we pause to remember Reynaldo Martin, Leonardo Soto, and Confessora Durante, 2-month-old Kalia Bruno, Lorraine Joseph, Alora Tutine and her unborn baby, Vince David and Sheldon Lusulil, Iola Martin, Priscilla Monique Davis, Tamiel Griffiths. These are the recorded deaths. Violence is not the new definition for love. Love does not hurt, injure, or kill. If violence is happening to you, you have two real choices: get help or get out. Contact the Women's Coalition on St. Croix, the Family Resource Center on St. Thomas, or the Safety Zone on St. John. Take a stand with me and the VIPD against domestic violence. If domestic violence is happening to someone you know, report it to the police or Crime Stoppers. If you're a victim, call the police and get help before it's too late. As a community, let's work together and stop the cycle of domestic violence.
Well, there you have it. Let's make sure that we go into the month of October with the fact that you do get your checkups with mammograms, and you do remind your loved ones to check their breasts regularly. And if you do feel a lump or something like that, then make sure that you get to the doctor well in advance. And it shouldn't take the women to tell you that. I think us men should be the front runners for that. Just like domestic violence, like Police Commissioner Novell Francis said, there is no excuse for domestic violence. Let's do the right thing for the queens in our territory. At Marshall Command in downtown Christiansted, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks to Police Commissioner Novell Francis and Wes Small. Well, Hovensa sent out an assessment team over the weekend to identify areas affected from last week's refinery fire that put the island of St. Croix on edge. If you see oil droplets on your vehicle or on your rooftop, you need to call 692-3999 so the property can be inspected. Well, dengue fever is alive and kicking here in the Virgin Islands, especially on St. Thomas and St. John. 85 cases have been reported so far from the health department in the Virgin Islands. Symptoms include severe headache, fever, joint and muscle pain, rash, nausea, vomiting, and loss of appetite. Now, to report a case of dengue fever, you should call 773-1311, extension 3241 here on St. Croix, and 774-9000, extension 3109 on St. Thomas. And when we come back from this break, we'll take a look at your Caribbean report. Stay with us.